finally, new rule, stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma. Sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Strap in, because what started as a passing comment quickly erupted into one of the most explosive media showdowns we've seen in years. It all ignited when Whoopi Goldberg took a pointed swing at Bill Maher during a heated moment on The View. Her words, sharp and unexpected, lit a fire that crackled far beyond the studio walls. Just as things began to boil over, in swept Megyn Kelly like a storm front, delivering a no-holds-barred critique that poured gasoline on an already raging blaze. What began as a casual jab spiraled into a full-blown media feud, shaking the show's foundation and dragging its public image under a glaring, unrelenting spotlight.
Because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. It just happened to coincide. Called The View.
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting that it's called, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go.
What could have easily been brushed off as a lighthearted jab suddenly ignited a verbal firestorm. Bill Maher, never one to bite his tongue, clapped back with the kind of razor-sharp one-liners that have become his trademark, each word landing like a punchline with a sting. In a heartbeat, the air shifted. The playful daytime chatter twisted into something far more intense, a high-voltage exchange that felt less like talk show banter and more like a primetime showdown. Viewers weren't just watching, they were glued, leaning in, waiting to see who'd flinch first.
Mess that they air in the mornings, called The View, had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections. 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera.
It was as if the studio floor beneath The View began to crack. Suddenly, the safety nets, the predictable talking points, the carefully crafted outrage, the go-to scripts powered by fear and familiarity were all up for debate. Maher's clapback didn't just take aim at Whoopi, it felt like a direct hit on the entire machine behind the scenes. And then Megyn Kelly came in swinging, doubling down with her own ruthless breakdown of what she called the show's performative outrage. For many viewers, this moment stripped away the illusion. This wasn't just another daytime spat. It felt like someone had ripped the mask off a show that sells debate but delivers an echo chamber.
I mentioned this karma stuff on the show last week because I was relating how many texts and emails I got from people congratulating me on receiving a karmagram from the universe.
Bill Maher wasn't pulling any punches. With his signature smirk, he tore into the online chatter suggesting Whoopi's brief suspension was some sort of cosmic payback for taking a swing at him. The theory, he scoffed, was pure internet fiction, just another clickbait-fueled conspiracy spun from keyboard warriors with too much time.
Whoopi Goldberg's chastisement. So I thought this would be a good time for a little tutorial on karma, which, as Americans understand it, is nothing more than an extension of the common logical fallacy called post hoc ergo propter.
Instead, Maher chalked it all up to pure, unfiltered chaos. To make his point sting, he unleashed a brutal analogy, likening the situation to a trophy hunter getting trampled by elephants, then devoured by lions. Not karma, not fate, just the ruthless, indifferent law of cause and effect. In his view, Whoopi wasn't caught in the gears of cosmic justice. She was simply reaping the natural consequences of decisions made in the spotlight. No mysticism, no moral twist. Just the cold, clinical aftermath of playing with fire on live television.
You know, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel spree.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust.
And Maher wasn't done, not even close. He doubled down, tearing into the entire spectacle with his trademark blend of sarcasm and surgical precision. But then he went deeper, slicing straight into what he called the show's fatal flaw. The View, he argued, doesn't present a variety of views at all. It's built on a single, tightly controlled perspective. That's when he dropped the line that hit like a gut punch. A question that didn't just challenge the panel, but the audience itself. What's the point of a debate show if it only ever echoes one side of the argument?
Okay.
Bill Maher, who has been the standard bearer for liberalism and in many ways leftism until the woke went bananas in this last decade, but for decades, that's what this guy has represented in America. I want you to note the tone they all talk with him. I want you to look at Sonny Huston's body language and the way they look at him and everything else. Just because he is a lefty who hasn't gone completely bananas, here they are talking about.
The conversation zoomed out, way out, touching on something much larger than a single feud or a single show. It tapped into a question America's been wrestling with for years. What happens when only one voice is allowed to speak, and everyone else is expected to clap along? Bill Maher cracked the door open with his jab, but Megyn Kelly kicked it wide. From the safety of her own platform, unfiltered and unbound by network restrictions, she launched a calculated, high-impact critique that tore through The View's polished exterior. She didn't need a seat across from Whoopi to make her case. Her commentary landed like a courtroom cross-examination, precise, relentless, and impossible to ignore. Kelly accused the show of staging fake debates dressed up as fiery conversation. Not a real exchange of ideas, but a tightly controlled theater of outrage designed to look spontaneous, while actually silencing any true dissent. She compared it to a classroom where only one correct answer is accepted, and anyone bold enough to challenge it is either mocked or muted. It wasn't discussion, she argued, it was performance. Producers, reportedly blindsided, scrambled. Kelly's attack wasn't wild or reckless, it was strategic, lined with receipts. She even reminded viewers that The View had previously been forced to issue legal corrections for misinformation aired on their platform, 3 of which, she noted, were reluctantly acknowledged on air. To Kelly, it wasn't just evidence of bias, it was proof the show didn't want to admit when it was wrong. And then came Whoopi's suspension, a moment that sent social media spiraling. Was it karma? Was it censorship? Was it accountability? The theories flew fast, but Maher swiftly dismissed them. He called it chaos, not cosmic justice. Just the natural, messy blowback of a show that thrives in the spotlight and lives under constant digital scrutiny. He framed Whoopi's comments as noise, predictable soundbites stripped of nuance and spun into online fuel. Hashtags surged. Feeds fractured. 3 clear sides emerged, Team Whoopi, Team Maher, and Team Kelly. But it was Kelly's tone, icy, unflinching, and meticulously aimed, that struck the deepest chord. Even some critics admitted her words hurt because they rang true. What began as a celebrity spat was no longer just about The View. It was a rupture, a crack in the polished glass of modern media's favorite illusion, that chaos is authenticity and theater is truth.